Guess who's back? Go on, you start.
Why?
I don't know. Forgot what to say.
It's been a while.
Do I say, so?
Oh no, not the clapping again.
The clap.
We're back!
We are back.
We are back to terrorise everyone here and catch no fish.
I'm sure we have a few blanks. Today quite possibly could be it. We're on Witches Point, Southern Down. It's bright. It's a little bit of a west-south. No,
That's more northwesterly.
Northwest. Got a bit of a northwesterly wind rather than just west. But yeah, it's coming off our back. It's not a bad wind. Yeah, it is very bright. Speaking to a few boys this week that have fished here, there hasn't been many fish coming off. So, well, just
fingers
gotta
crossed.
check baits out and see.
Fingers crossed we find something, otherwise this is going to be a very boring first one back.
We have got 5 rods here. So,
He's got 3 because he's got to try and bait me.
well, I brought one. I brought a Ron Tom accelerator, and I'm going to drop some little hooks down the edge. I'll show you that rig in a moment. And if I catch some live bait, I'm going to drop that back down again in close range and have a go for an eel, a bass, or something else will take it. Having a little go for probably small-eyed, spotted, chance of a blonde, chance of a thorny, so the general rays you catch in South
Big
Wales.
chance of a blank.
Big chance of a blank. It is a bright sunny day. We've got a bit of a northwesterly wind, which ain't too bad, especially on the ebb, because you can cast with the wind and hopefully the tide can pull you around straight. Yeah, so I brought 3 rods with me. I'll be casting 2 out, 2 at clip down on one, a pulley dongle on one rig, and I'm gonna scratch around with the 3rd rod and possibly catch some live bait to put out for an eel.
Yeah, just bear with us with the filming because we're a bit rusty.
The weapons of choice today, we got the Sentry Eliminator T900, super powerful rod, but it's got a glass tip. That glass tip is quite soft. Personally, it isn't for bite detection for me. It's to hold that lead, stop tripping that lead in the tide. When the tide's pulling hard, it just cushions the line. I try and have a big boa line, and it helps keep the grip lead stuck into the sand, hopefully the sand. So yeah, got the T900s. They're great rods, very popular around the South Wales coastline. I got the Pen Casting Special, great reels, with £20 Variva Sport, and then £100 Asso Classic Shock Leader. I'm also using a Cedra quick clip, which helps you change baits, just change the whole rig, do an alternation. It's much quicker to get the bait back in the water rather than sitting there for 10 minutes baiting up as you go along. So that's the weapons of choice I've got for today. Let's hopefully I can put them out to test. So, like what Dave has got here, he's just wound in his bait that's been out there for a good, what, 40 minutes?
Probably a little bit more.
And it's been completely stripped.
Not a single thing left, well, apart from a little bit of elastic left on there.
Yeah, so with the quick clip, you can just pop the swivel off. You got the next bait all baited and elasticated up, hooked up on his rod stand, and he is now ready to go.
Yeah. So
It's saving at least 5 minutes each cast.
yeah,
which
so if you've got one baited up, set on there, all right, a lot of you probably already do this, never, but for those who don't, and you want to save as much time as possible to get a bait back in the water as quick as possible, upping your chances of catching some fish then. So having one hanging on your rod stand and ready to go, and then you can just quickly change it over and get your bait back out there. You've got more chance of catching fish, less time out of water.
Yeah, like we said earlier, I don't think it's going to be an amazing session. I think we'd be lucky to have 1, maybe 2 rays. I mean, there has been rays caught in bright sunshine, but it's generally when it's overcast or at night time. So, as I said earlier, I brought a third rod, so that's going to be scratching around, little hooks, little baits, just down the edge, looking for whiting, pouting, porcod, little rockling, just using small bits of sand eel, mackerel, bluey, just tiny, tiny little baits. Just to keep your scratching rigs as simple as possible, I've got one of the Seadra crimp swivels. It makes making up these rigs so much quicker. Yeah, it's just a little swivel that is in the center of a crimp. Slide 3 on, crimp them into place, job done. Yeah, then I've got some new hooks. I haven't used these yet, but they seem absolutely fantastic. They are the Seadra Match XS Cone Point. So my ideal match hook this is. Going on to some sandy beaches and you're catching lots of dogfish, there's a chance of a ray, there's a chance of a bull huss or something else a bit bigger. You want something small that will catch the smaller fish, the dogfish, the whiting, but if something big comes along, you don't want to straighten or snap that hook. And that's where these have come in. They're super, super strong, super, super sharp. I can't express how sharp that hook is. Super small eye, so if you're using worm baits, you can thread that up. These are great hooks. I'll definitely be purchasing some more of these. Absolutely fantastic. And also, what I did notice, there's not a massive barb on them. I think that's got something in mind, that when you're speed fishing, catching lots of whiting, dogfish, you don't want to be messing around with a hook and trying to get them out with pliers and whatever. You want a barb big enough to hold it, to secure that hook in place. But in a match, time is everything. You just want to grab that hook, little pop, and it's going to come out. These are super, super strong, super sharp. They're definitely going to be my new match hook, that's for certain. I got a Ron Thompson accelerator. These are really good rods and they're super, super cheap. They're powerful, really stiff rods, but I think you can pick them up for like 150 quid, brand new. I've got the old trusty SL30 with 40-pound line all the way through. I won't be power casting this rod and reel. It's just going to be gentle lobs, scratch and rigs, or with a big bait on around high water, trying for a bass or a conger. So yeah, just got the big rods out. They're on the rod stand, and I'm just going to prop that one up somewhere with these scratching rods. So yeah, let's have a go. Yeah, so just got the scratching rig ready. 3 small sand eel baits on a size 1 hook, and I'm just going to lob it out into the bay there. We got Southern Down Beach, the water's flooding in. Who knows what could be there? Let's give it a go. Just a gentle lob. Hopefully get some little fishies.
Right, well, I'm going to have I'll go with something a bit different from what we've been doing, because at the moment it's very slow, so I'm going to see if there's something a little bit bigger swimming around. So I'm going to go with pulley, but with J's this time. But the J's I'm using are a short shank wide gapes by Seadra. So we got those there, 6 O's, and we're going to put them whiting on there. And what we've got 100-pound on the pulley with 150 biter tied direct onto that. It's only about 8 inches of a biter there. You don't need much more than that, because you don't really want a stiff snood. So what we do is we'll get a whiting, which I've caught a few of these in a match a little while ago. That's why you can see that the tail has been cut, so it can't be weighed in twice. And yes, it does look undersized, i.e. 27 centimeters, but that's because we're in Wales, and the 27 centimetre rule doesn't count in Wales because of there's no legal size limit on them. Here there is in England and Scotland otherwise. So yeah, so we'll get that all baited up now. So wherever I put my scissors, which will be right by here, the way I like to do it is I'll just take the tail off and put that to one side because I might use that bit to add on with it later. I will take one gill plate off on the one side and cut the gills then, because any blood that is in there will then start to come out once it starts properly defrosting. Put the hook in just by the fin, feed him down and hopefully pop it out from the eye like that. Slide him down so he's sticking out nicely by there. I'll then get the other hook and follow suit higher up the body, hopefully in line, otherwise it's not going to look the best. So in she goes, pops him out just next to him by there. So we've got two hooks nicely sat there like that, ready to be whipped up. So we shall get the bait elastic in, get him out, and we've taken a lesson from Ben with this now. It is non-stop whipping, just all the way around and get him nice and tight, closing the mouth up because you don't want the mouth open in mid-air and then all of a sudden it starts helicoptering. Get him nice and tight, nice and tight. I'm not concerned if the hook goes like that and then one falls to the side. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Just 2 extra points. And then whip him round, whip him round. Keep on whipping him. Snap the elastic as you do. Just keep on going just so he doesn't go anywhere. You want to make sure that that hook doesn't move, and you want to make sure the top where the knot is, and just keep whipping around there, and it should help the hook from not slipping then. There we go. And then you got your bait like that. Like I say, I'm not concerned about that hook coming out the side rather than in line with that. I know some people are, but I'm not personally. Personally, I think if it comes trying to grab to that way, it's got to come from the side, it's going to grab that way. So it makes no difference to me. But that's basically what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to lob it out there 30, 40 yards max, and see what happens. Hopefully we get something, because it's been very, very quiet at the moment.
Yeah, so just going to change baits on one of my rods. I'm going to put out a pulley. It's got a 4.0 Davies full circle. I use a 4.0 around here a lot of the time because there's more small-eyed and spotted ray around here. You can get quite small thornies here as well. Not to say that a bigger one won't ever turn up, but the likelihood is smaller than what you do get them around Barry way. So yeah, single sand eel, cut the head and tail off, let some blood flow, and then all I've done is laid the dongle along the side of the sand eel, whipped him up with Tronics Pro Baitex. It's definitely my favourite bait elastic. It's really fine, but it's pretty strong. You can make a big bait and it secures it really, really well, without having, you know, the cheap stuff you can get from, I don't know, just for instance, a China shop in on eBay. It's really thick, dangly stuff, and it's hanging off. It's not secure in it. So a nice thin cotton, but this Baitex is super strong and it's super fine. It's definitely my favourite. So yeah, we got a sand eel squid wrap. I'm gonna bait that all the way up. As long as you've put plenty of elastic on the sand eel with the dongle attached, then you don't have to go too mad with the squid. As long as it is nice and secure, aerodynamic, that's the sort of bait I'm doing. As we predicted, it is very quiet out there. It is barren. Literally, there's no life out there other than the crabs, there must be an abundance of crabs out there, because you're doing 10-minute casts, your baits are stripped. You can leave them out there for an hour. Well, first cast we left for about half hour, second cast 40 minutes, and yeah, they're getting absolutely destroyed. So we're doing like 10-minute casts now, and yeah, they're just getting absolutely stripped. And just to top it off, a seal is swimming around, so yeah, there's even less chance of us catching fish now. Bright sunshine, fairly clear water for the time of year. It's more of like a turquoise than a brown, usual Bristol Channel brown, but no, it seems quite settled, which I suppose not really doing us any favours, but it's nice to look at. Prefer to look at some big small-eyed rays or something, or big eel. Be happy with a dogfish at the moment. Oh dear. Dave's climbed down the bottom, he's doing a spot of sunbathing. That's all we can do, really.
And we got a little taupe pup. Little perfection in miniature. Lovely little taupe. He's only tiny. You still wouldn't want to put your finger in his mouth, mind though, because those look pretty sharp. So we'll go see if we can get him back in there now. He's had a bit of a rough ride coming in, I think, in all fairness. He's got a few marks on his back. So hopefully he goes back nicely. We'll see now.
I've had worse days fishing, mind. I've had worse days fishing and actually catching fish. At least we're catching the sun, which is lovely down here. It is really nice. Sometimes it's more about the venue and I would say good company, but you know, I'm only with Dave today. Than actually catching fish. But yeah, so everything's going against us. We're doing 10-minute casts at the moment, and our baits are getting stripped. There must be an abundance of crab out there, absolutely smashing us. And then to top it off, a big fat seal comes along and starts swimming around the bay here, being off the point, and I think he's gone around the corner now. Hopefully long gone. But yeah, Dave said he's seen one of my rods pull down a little bit. It might just be wishful thinking, but don't know what's going on here. Well, I do. It's really bright. Me and Dave are rubbish at fishing. There's a seal, there's a load of crab taking our bait, little thieves. But anyway, it's comfy. We're not losing gear, but we're not catching fish. I was just having a little whinge and a moan, and Dave was right. He said he's seen a bit of a slack line on my rod, and just so happens both of them are going now. Yeah, so just got this bait ready, sat in my cooler box, keeping the bait fresh. Got the 2-hook dongle clipped down. So the right rod looked a bit more like a dogfish, so I'm gonna leave that one out there, but the left rod had run twice, so I'm gonna say small-eyed on the left rod, doggy on the right rod. So just walking down to try and find a nice area to land this fish. Oosh. How clear that water is. We'll see which way. I think my rod's across, but I think that's okay. Nothing on there. Nothing on there. I'm going to leave it there for 5. Oh, an absolute nightmare. I just found out why I missed that fish. So this is why our baits are being stripped. We got this hermit crab. But look at that. Completely covered my hook. That's exactly what I don't want. There must be a herd of them out there. Hermit crab. So, change baits regular and try and get through them.
Well, we've been struggling with the dongles, well I have anyway, and so I decided to go back to the old school. Pennels, J's, hit it out over a bigger bait, and I've had a bite within about 10 minutes of it going out there. So hopefully he's still there now. So we'll see what we got. Well, whatever it is, it ain't big, put it that way. But there's definitely a fish there. Let's get down here without falling in, it'd be great. Could be a small ray, something like that maybe, but the bite didn't say ray, it definitely said dog, so we'll see. Oh yeah, it's putting up a little bit of a fight, so if it is a dog, it's a big dog. Come on, what are you? What are you? What we got yet? What we got? Yep, she's a dog. But at least it's another fish. And it ain't exactly a big one, so how it put up a little bit of a pullback, I have no idea. And how he's managed to fit that bait in his mouth, I have no idea. But anyway, at least it's another fish. Oh, you know times are hard when you're speaking about blooming dogfish, you know? But I say, it's a big old bait, so how he's managed to get that in there, I don't know. But let's see if we can get him unhooked and get him back in the water pretty quick. There we go. I'd say it's literally been out there no more than 10 minutes, probably less than that to be honest with you. Let's just get him unhooked and get him back in. There we go. One pesky dogfish.
Right, so as I was baiting up my next rig, I looked up and I said to Dave, you know when you look away and then you look back at your rods and they look different for some reason, but you can't pinpoint what it is? Yeah, it's because one was slack. So yeah, I'm not going to rush it. This could be the one and only fish for me. Dave is on 2. Just going to hold a bit of pressure. Oh, scratching rig is ratchet's going now. Something that hasn't happened for ages, for hours and hours, and all of a sudden, both rods are biting. That's why it's important to set your ratchet, set your drag. If the fish takes it, it's not a drama. It's only taking line.